Hey guys, if you're enjoying the content that I'm making, please click that subscribe button. Also remember to click that bell button and make sure to tick that box to send all notifications so you don't miss out on any videos. With that in mind, let's get on with the video. What's up guys, welcome to Monch's Gaming, where we take your gaming to the next level. This is Monchkins logging in to bring you another episode of Adventures Chat Log. This week I'm by myself again, and in this episode we will be talking about the recent live letter patch 4.2 preview, and we've got a little bit of news obviously, and I'm going to be going through the official translation. So without further ado, let's get on with the show. So first off, 4.2 is I think slated to come out late in January 2018. I sort of expected it to be in the mid-January, but late January, that's fine. But it just gives us a little bit more time for people to actually download 4S if you haven't done that. And obviously now that they've unlocked everything for Omega Savage with the recent patch 4.18, you can help your friends who haven't downed it or who don't have a static to do it with, which right now I am one of those people who don't have a static again, but that's a whole nother story. So let's go through the official translations of what we are going to be getting in patch 4.2. Of course, we're going to get a new main scenario quest, a new side quest as well, which will feature Hildebrand. But I do believe that with Hildebrand, they are trying to just sort of introduce him again, but the actual story will be around in patch 4.25, I suppose. That's where they're trying to aim for that. And we will also be getting new Beast Tribe quests, the Ananta, which is the snake ladies, if you guys don't remember who they are. New dungeons, we'll be getting 2 new dungeons now that they decided on even number patches we'll get 2 dungeons, and on odd number patches we'll be getting 1 dungeon. So we'll be getting Hell's Lead and Fractal Continuum. I hope I pronounced that right, and that's the hard mode for it. I believe the Fractal Continuum is, I believe it's the one in back in Heaven's Ward. I just can't remember exactly which one it was, but it's definitely during the Heaven's Ward period. New trials, will be getting the trials known as the 4 Lords, which the series will basically be will be fighting the 4, I suppose, these Japanese deities, which is, I believe in Kyoto they have the tiger, the phoenix, the dragon, and the turtle. Basically it represent north, east, west, and south. So the first one we're going to be fighting is against Byakko, which is, I believe, the tiger, and this will be called Jade Stoa, and then we'll be getting the extreme version of that as well. The next one is obviously we'll be getting new raids for the next tier of Omega Savage. That's just plain and simple. We'll be also they also plan to introduce the Forbidden Land of Eureka, which for you guys who don't know is actually going to be our Relic Quest. They're planning to introduce this not in 4.2 but in patch 4.25, and hopefully here's some rumors that we won't actually be getting weapon this time. It's just gonna be armors, but don't quote me on that. I do know we are getting some sort of armors. If you guys actually go back to a few of my videos, I think they Yoshi P actually confirmed that there will be armor in the game, at least for relic armors anyway. I just feel that they will have some sort of weapon anyway, but yeah, because it says here there are leveling aspects here. We're planning to have players strengthen their weapons and gear inside Eureka, so I am guessing that there will be some sort of weapons. So I don't know where that rumor came about not having any weapons at all, but there you go. And you'll be fighting notorious monsters just like the hunts, but you'll be in Eureka. So they'll introduce more of the news on the next live letter. There are also obviously going to be job adjustments, and I think they're thinking of adjusting the Black Mage DPS, usability of warriors, which honestly there's a lot of usability with warriors already. I don't know what they're thinking in terms of, you know, making it much more better for warriors, because it's going to be the same thing all over again. Back in Realm Reborn, warriors weren't that great. I mean, they were good, and then eventually in Heaven's Ward they were like the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then now at the start of the 4.0 patches, basically the expansion, they were pretty crap, and then now they're back to usability. So I don't know what else they're gonna do, but you know, I'm still hoping that there will be some Monch changes. There's definitely some sort of quality of life or something, but that's just me. Now there's going to be PvP updates. There's going to be a new map, rule revisions, and PvP team registrations. I'm not really into whole the PvP thing, but if you guys want to check it out, obviously I'll leave a link in the description below about the official translations. There are also going to be an update on Glamour System, which I believe we talked about back when Adventurers Chatlog started, and they're basically making all the glamour items basically into one. And basically the system that they're thinking is something like a store glamour data, which basically you put the glamour that you want, and then like put it into a storage system of some type, and if you want that glamour you can just click on it, and then that's what you're going to be looking like. Inventory updates as well. They're gonna make all the stackable items up to 999, so that's just gonna relieve a lot of the inventory problems. And of course they're also adding Chocobo Saddlebags, which is another 70 additional inventory slots. I do believe there's some limitations to the Chocobo Saddlebags, but I think that's later in the translation. Now going through, the next one is the housing updates. They are going to release more plots for patch 4.2, and they're going to be changing how the plots can be purchased as well. They'll announce the changes right before patch 4.2 goes live. And we've got the subaquatic voyages as well, basically the airship voyages. If you are in a free company and you're doing a lot of that, this is just a continuation of that. There's going to be performance action updates, which is I suppose for those bards that like to play their songs, this is great. I believe there was some missing notes, so hopefully they'll fill those up this way. And next one is we're getting new tomes, of course. With each tier we always get new tomes, so what else can I say about that? They're also obviously going to be making adjustments on the dungeons, and I believe the rewards for Hidden Canals of Uznir, and they're going to be making adjustments on the efficiency for leveling Disciples of Hand from 50 to 60, which is I don't know how it feels right now because I was level 60 before, so but obviously they're trying to amp up the experience so you can, if you're not really into crafting, you can get a high amount of experience so you don't have to spend a whole time leveling up your crafter. Next are basically the PvP updates. like I said, I'll just sort of leave the description down below. There's a whole lot of revision for the fees, ranked team matches, team requirements, team matches, and team ranking as well. And I don't really want to just read through all that for you guys. But if you're in PvP, I'll leave the description down below. So the Glamour System updates. So this is basically their explanation to it. I'm going to be reading the quote from the actual translation. So commodes can retain up to 200 glamours. We would like for you to add items you are most likely to use for glamour. The role restriction will still remain, but you'll also be able to create macros which can swap ensembles along with gear set macros. You can make ensembles of specific parts of a set of gear and also apply regular glamours as usual. Dyes can be applied here. Ensemble certain items such as those that can be stored in the armor does not need to be converted to glamours. This is sort of hard to explain, but basically you can get, you know, I suppose I never played WoW, but it sort of sounds like when people explain to me how WoW's Glamour system works, this sounds like it. So you can leave a comment down below and probably explain it much better than I can, because to me it sounds like just you'll get a piece of item and you can put it into the Glamour slot, and then if you want it you can just get it. So there you go. The next thing that they talked about is basically this new duty recorder. Basically this allows you to record without using a third-party program. As you guys can see, I actually use Shadowplay. Sometimes you can actually see a little thing on the top right corner saying it's starting to record. So that's what I use. But this sort of alleviates the problem. Well, not a problem, but for those people who don't want to use Shadowplay or something like that, you can use Duty Recorder. Basically this allows you to record the entire fight, and you can also change the perspective into the enemy's perspective. I'm actually hoping that you can I know it's probably impossible, but if there was a way that you can switch to a different person's perspective, that that can actually help see what they're actually doing, and what, you know, if they're struggling with something, you can see why, as to why. But this duty recorder will not be featured on all duties when it first implements, and it will just basically gradually be implemented to the rest of the duties when the time comes. So records may be viewed inside inns as well, and basically the records that you wish to be saved cannot be overwritten. There's obviously a lot of things like playback controls and so all that stuff, but this is a nice little thing for people who don't have Shadowplay. I don't know. To me it's not a big thing, but I want to test it out because I want to see what the enemies perspective are. So I'll definitely play around with it when the time comes. Now the inventory updates, which is the last thing that they mentioned. I did say that there are some limitations to it. So the Chocobo Saddlebags cannot be accessed inside instance duties. Items stored inside the saddlebags cannot be used, put up for sale, delivered, used as components for crafting, etc. Items may only be stored in or removed from saddlebags. You will have access to the saddlebags even if the Chocobo is stable. So to me it seems like there's a lot of restriction to it, but I think you're putting items there that you basically don't really use as much. Maybe more glamour stuff you can use, I don't know. But that's pretty much it for the official translation of the latest live letter, and that means that is also the end of this video. Remember to click like, subscribe, and share this video if you find it helpful at all. As always, I'd like to hear from you guys what you think of patch 4.2 and what are the other things that you are expecting for the next live letter. Also remember to follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Munchkins Gaming. This is Munchkins logging off, and I'll see you guys in the next level.